It is Tuesday, January 18th. And again, maybe it's because I'm getting older, but this year already, halfway through the first month, seems like it's flying by, which we're not going to talk about today on Guy's Daily Drive. Bam! And welcome everyone to Guy's Daily Drive. This won't be out on the regular show once I get it posted, but it'll be here live on Facebook. I was just talking to a friend of mine from the old high school days. He's here watching live. It's live, and he's down there in South Florida. I'm up here in Northern Virginia. And in Northern Virginia, it's 36, 37 degrees, which for this time of year is like, okay. You put on a coat, you put on maybe a sweater, and you carry on. It's like not that big of a deal. Now in South Florida, on the other hand, 36 degrees, and we would be like looking to build igloos. That's how, because we're not used to. Hold on a second here, stupid bus. We were not used to that kind of cold down in South Florida. I mean, even during the winter time, your daily highs, even in the worst part of the year, as far as winter goes, your daily highs would typically be in the mid 60s to high 70s, and that's like in the worst. That's like in the worst of winter in South Florida. But when it gets cold down there, for whatever reason, if you've lived in South Florida for any significant amount of time, and the weather dips down below, let's say you're from upstate New York or Ohio or some place that gets like really cold in the wintertime, and it hits 30s or 40s, that's like, you feel it. You feel it. After spending all day, that's a little low. After spending all day, that's awful. What is wrong with me? I can't get this thing to center. There we go. All right. I'm talking about my on-screen persona for anyone listening to the audio side. Anything under 50 degrees, and you feel it. If you've spent like a couple of weeks in South Florida and it gets under 50, you're like, ooh, it's cold. Brr. For people that have lived their whole lives in South Florida, anything under 60 degrees, and you've got out sweaters, gloves, hats, all of it. All of it. And the crazy bit is, if say you live in Ohio, and it's during the winter time, and it's in the mid 50s, okay, you're still wearing t-shirt and shorts because it doesn't really feel that cold. Mid 50s, that's like a winter break for people in that area, because it just gets so cold and it stays cold. Like, we've been in mid 20s to mid 40s now for about 2 weeks, mostly 20s and 30s, and you feel it. It's cold. So we're wearing, I'm wearing a sweater, and I got on a denim jacket that has some flannel, but I don't have gloves on, and I'm not wearing a hat to keep the heat from escaping and all the rest of that. It's just even at 36, 37 degrees, it's cold, but it's not that big a deal. 36, 37 degrees in South Florida, and you're gonna die. You feel like you're gonna die if you step outside the house. You have parents that are calling the school to make excuses for their child so that they don't have to brave the elements of 37 degrees in South Florida. So, oh my. Now, my kids grew up here in Northern Virginia. And they've been down to Florida several times. Peter especially likes to, every single year with his friend Jake, they go down to Orlando and they hit the Universal Studio parks. That's the parks that they prefer, including, Peter is a big Jurassic World fan, so they like taking all the rides over there. They're both big fans of Universal Studios has a indoor roller coaster. I think you might call it a dark ride, and it's based on the Brendan Fraser movie The Mummy, and it's been there for 20 years, probably maybe longer than that. And it's a great, it's one of the highlights, really, of Universal Studios is that ride, The Mummy. And a lot of people don't even really know it because it's kind of tucked away in this one corner of Universal Studios. And there used to be some others. I think that area of Universal Studios used to have Twister and the Kong ride. No, it was all the movie-based rides were over on that part of Universal Studios. And it's not really, they've kind of downplayed that bit of it as far as, we're the movie studio kind of theme park. And they still have rides like that, but now it's like scattered all over the park. Islands of Adventure has, that 3D kind of King Kong ride and all the Jurassic Park stuff. And, it's just more, it is more suited toward the movies and TV shows, but it's spread out all over the park instead of it being just in that one area as far as rides go. But they love those two parks, Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure, and that's where they spend all of their time. They don't go to the Disney parks, which is too bad, because the next time I go down there, I want to take a day or two and hit some of the Disney parks and see like the Star Wars rides and stuff like that. I haven't been down there in a while. I need to talk to Guy and Peter to see if they might be interested in joining Dad on maybe a week-long little trip and hitting all those parks. That would be fun. Just a question of, can I afford it? That kind of trip is not cheap. Anyway, so I guess that's pretty much it. Where you live determines how you deal with the winter and what kind of winter that you're going to have. Going from South Florida to Northern Ohio was literally an eye-opening experience because I had never experienced winter like that before. And now, close to 40 years. Yeah, because I left in 81. Yeah, 40 years. Oh my God. Last year was 40 years since I left South Florida. Holy crap. So that's you kind of question sometimes where the hell the time has gone. But 40 years later, this kind of weather doesn't really bother me anymore. It's still cold, but it's not that big of a deal. 30s, 40s. It's like, okay, well, if I'm taking the trash out or just going to be outside for a couple of minutes, I won't even bother. Sometimes I won't even bother to put a jacket on. I'll just go outside in my slippers and put the trash out or put it by the curb or do whatever other little thing, get something out of the car, check the mail, things along those lines. And it's like, okay, no big deal. You know, yeah, it was cold, but I'm not going to be out there that long, so who cares? But in South Florida, it's not like that. If it's this cold in South Florida, you'll leave that mail. That mail will stay in that mailbox until it warms up. That's just how it is. So thank you all so very much for joining me today on Guy's Daily Drive. Back to hopefully back to a regular kind of Monday, Friday schedule now that the holidays are over and things go back to pretty much normal. I appreciate the fact that you download and listen to Guy's Daily Drive, as well as the mymac.com podcast, whether you listen to that on the main MyMac feed or you get it here through the Vert Shark feed. No big deal, you know, however you want to listen to it. But remember that on the MyMac feed, you also get the Guy and Gaz after show, and that's always a lot of fun. It's usually like 5 to 15 minutes of G-men shenanigans that aren't really related to whatever it is we're doing on the show, and that's fun. But if you want to get a hold of me, I have 2 email addresses you can check out, guy@mymac.com or podcast@vertshark.com. I have 2 different Twitter handles, MacParrot and VertShark. VertShark.com is the website that you can go to see all of the videos and listen to all of the audios, or you can subscribe through the podcatcher of your choice to Guy's Daily Drive, and not only will you get Guy's Daily Drive, you'll also get the abbreviated mymac.com podcast with Gaz and myself, as well as if there's any other weirdness that I decide to put out on that feed. What else? If you would like to help support the things that I do, you can go to patreon.com/MacParrot. You can buy me a coffee at ko-fi.com/MacParrot. Or you can pay a pal at paypal.me/MacParrot. Greatly appreciate anything that you do along those lines. You can see all the videos. If you want to watch the edited videos, I have them over at YouTube. And if you type in the search bar Vert Shark and then like, share, subscribe. Did you see that? Like, share, subscribe. That's all you got to do. It's so easy. Oh my God, it's ridiculously easy. And that will do it from me for today. Thank you all so very much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. And I will see all of you next time right here on Guy's Daily Drive. Live. Bye-bye.